SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.
I'm Steve Azar, and I'm on the other side of the microphone, meaning I'm asking the questions this time, and oh, have mercy for the airwaves. I spent 20 years in Music City, wrote and made some hits, traveled the world, and then moved my family back to the birthplace of American music and where the magnolia trees prosper. And now every time I put my feet on Mississippi soil, when I'm off the road, well, I'm at peace. On this show, it's all about hearing the stories straight from the mouths of the friends I've made along the way, their journey to success. Heck, there might be someone on, I don't even know, but you know how us Mississippi types are. We tend to take well to new company. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them. I'm Steve Azar. It's just like that muddy river, moving slow. Ain't no worries, it's how life goes, baby. In a Mississippi Minute. That's right.
Hey folks, time for another In a Mississippi Minute. Grateful for you tuning in into the new year. Happy New Year to you guys. I hope your holidays were wonderful and blessed. Always, like you have heard me say I'm into my 9th year now. So visit Mississippi.org, celebrates us like no other. Take a road trip from within the state. If you guys have not visited some spots that you just hadn't spent any time in a long time, take a road trip, spend the weekend away from your home where you live, and we'll let the visitors show up on your soil while you're away. It's called, it makes an economic impact. Today, we're celebrating Visit Mississippi on another level. With over a quarter of a century, actually 28 years to be exact and counting, today's guest brings some serious experience into the tourism industry for all things Visit Mississippi. You've heard me in and out of the breaks, like today, for a lot of years now, celebrate Visit Mississippi, and I certainly get to do it today with the boss. She previously served as Executive Director of Mississippi Tourism Association, as the Deputy Director of the Ridgeland Tourism Commission. She was Director of Advancement Initiatives at Canopy Children's Solutions before becoming the latest leader of the band at Visit Mississippi. To quote her, before taking on this next challenge in her life, I appreciate the opportunity to build on the fantastic work Visit Mississippi is doing to grow our state's visitors. The industry carries a significant impact on our economy and look forward to promoting the beauty, music, culture, and great food of our state, which she has been doing just perfectly. When she took over the fiscal year of 2022, our dear mutual pal Craig Ray was coming out of COVID, and Mississippi was breaking all sorts of tourism records. Mississippi tourism industry thrived. We had almost 24 million visitors, took in $7 billion from tourism, and the industry was the 4th largest in the state's economy. Since taking over Visit Mississippi, she and her team continues the upward climb with tourism records. In 2024, 44.2 million visitors, generating $18.1 billion in economic impact, and early 2025 trends like cruising the coast, Mississippi staple down there, suggests continued growth with significant spending boosts for local economies. She's a Natchez native and has a bachelor's degree in business administration from the University of Louisiana. She's certified travel industry specialist and graduate of Southeast Tourism Society's Marketing College. When Craig Ray left, C-Ray, our buddy, left the position June 30th of 2022 to pursue other opportunities, there was no one more he wanted to take his place than today's guest. I recall his excitement when he told me the great news. One cool project she and the team at Visit Mississippi had been focused on, which just passed January 1, you've heard me talk about it now for almost a year, has been Mississippi celebrating our vast musical heritage and the cool Jim Henson, I got the Muppet on the wall, and his beloved Muppets. The list goes deep into Mississippi history, all there for the world to see at this year's Rose Bowl Parade, which aired, like I said, January 1st. I got text messages from all over the country saying how cool it was. No float or state will represent or represented more culture and history than ours. So let's get to it and chat with the incredible Mississippi-loving lady who's on a mission, my pal and executive director of Visit Mississippi, Rochelle Hicks. Hey.
Well, good morning, Steve. Happy New Year.
How are you feeling after a little West Coast visit?
Well, I'm tired. I think I finally dried out. We did get a little bit of rain, but Mississippi brought the sunshine and just feeling really grateful and proud of the way that we represented the state out there in the Rose Parade. It was it's just an amazing experience that just, I don't know, proud is just the best word I can use.
Let's talk about logistics, and let's talk about when you started to sort of dream this up, you and the team. I mean, looking back at all the work that had to go into it, you guys got Charlie Worsham. I love him. I love that man so much. Tremendous talent, lives in Nashville, hearts in Mississippi. Let's talk about sort of how did you just sort of plan each step along the way till you got to the moment?
Yeah. So, it's a long process. Last year after, we, had our first debut at the Rose Parade, with our Birthplace of America's Music campaign, our float featured B.B. King and Elvis Presley and, a lot of our musical heritage. So after that, immediately after that, we started, we knew we wanted to do it again, and we're like, what does our theme need to be? And so, there's so many different things that we can celebrate about Mississippi, but our arts and culture is just something that is, unmatched. And so we decided that would be our theme. So we kind of started working on what the actual title of our float would be. So we came up with Where Creativity Blooms, which is a little bit of spin on that, the float's made of flowers, obviously, but also where, Mississippi is such a creative state with such an incredible creative spirit and so many people who just have, immense talent. So then we started working with the float builder. We work with artistic entertainment services as at our float builder, and basically just started kind of like, honestly, we just throw a lot of stuff at them and say, here are some aspects and some things we would like to see on the float, and then they kind of come back with like, an original rendering. And, we probably went through 20 iterations of that rendering. There were different things that we were like, cause some things, you think would look great, but when you put them on a giant float, like it just doesn't always translate well. Mm-hmm. So, we ended up landing, where we landed with all the great things that we had, featured on the float. But, we originally had started talking about, we would love to have Kermit the Frog. And, we reached out to Disney and were able to get in touch with some people there. And so we had an initial call with them. This was probably back in the summer, I would say, or maybe early summer. And, originally we were thinking about having like the actual Kermit the Frog. But then when we started talking back to the float builders and the designer, John Ramirez is, the very talented man who designs the floats for AES. He said, a small Kermit is just not going to translate well. He said, you have to think about when you're looking at it, from, far away from, the 800,000 people along the parade route that are looking at the float. And when you're looking at it from TV corner, he said, he's going to be a speck, right? Cause Kermit is a tiny little fella. So, he recommended that we do the giant Kermit, and we're so glad that we took that recommendation.
I saw, oh my God,
yes.
Kermit, like, hello, Kermit.
I mean,
so cool.
Helicopters, TV cameras everywhere. And like, he was just so visible. And so that just really was, we're so glad we made that decision. So, you finish the process with the float builder and the designer of like, what is it going to look like? And then, we start, working on PR efforts and making sure that we have all of our descriptions of our float ready so that the media can grab that from the, media center. Then we have to we have an event out there. This year we partnered with Louisiana on a great event on Sunday night that, featured our entertainer, featured, Louisiana's entertainer. We invited alumni that live out in the area, people that are in the artistic creative world to come and celebrate with us at this event. So it's planning the event. Then you have, working with our partners who come out and support us and partner with us on this. This year we had Coastal Mississippi, Visit Jackson, Visit Meridian, and Visit Oxford. So it's working with them. There's, another piece of it that's called Float Fest that actually as soon as the parade is over, the floats all go to a certain area where you can go, consumers can go and pay to get in and walk around and see the floats up close and personal. That lasts for 3 days after the parade. So, we have a whole nother team that's managing that side of it. And then in addition to that, it was, finding out who the right person and the right entertainer is for our float. And, Charlie has been hosting our Mississippi on the Map podcast, and is just, like you said earlier, he's just an amazing human, but also his love for Mississippi, much like yours. It's just, we're so thankful that we have these incredible talent that really, whether they live in Mississippi or not, they still love our state and support it in any way. So Charlie was just a trooper. I mean, let's be real. The day of the parade, it was raining cats and dogs. And, that's not easy to be out there in the pouring down rain.
Well, we'll talk more about Charlie and this float. I don't want to get off the subject just yet. Let's take a quick break before they go to a break. Visit Mississippi.org celebrates everything that is culturally cool, especially the culinary world. That's the commercials I'm seeing that, like my baby girl's a chef in New York at a Michelin star restaurant. This excites me more than you know. I want to talk about that on the other side of the break. Rochelle Hicks, the boss lady, leader of the band of Visit Mississippi, with us. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Baby, I'm gonna be good, loving you. Yeah, baby, I'm gonna be good.
There's a ton of content from SuperTalk Mississippi on our new YouTube channel. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi on YouTube or go to supertalk.fm/YouTube. Be sure and subscribe for free to get the latest scoop on what's happening in Mississippi news, politics, sports, and the good things happening here in the
I cut that one pretty close, but I've got the leader of the band, the boss, executive director, Rochelle Hicks of Visit Mississippi. Go to visitmississippi.org. Plan your road trip. We talked about cruising the coast in my introduction. If you guys have not spent any time checking that out, and it's like a car candy store. I don't know. If you were a kid and you were into candy, you go there and it looks like a bunch of candy spread out, for miles. And it's an amazing annual event that draws in so many people. It's insane. Check it out on the Gulf Coast. Go to visitmississippi.org. Plan a road trip. All right. So my guest today, Rochelle Hicks. So Rochelle, Charlie, yes, he's been doing the podcast thing. He's been on my show. Great respect in Nashville. Loves Mississippi. I love his dad so much, by the way. He's a great guy. I get to see him once a year when I do this private event in Grenada, in his hometown. So tell me about, let's dig in real quick to this commercial. So I am a big foodie. My wife's a big foodie. Our daughter became a chef because of that, and she's traveled the world. So before the whole Michelin star thing ever happened, she's taken us to Michelin star restaurants. She was studying gastronomy in Spain. Wherever city, she was working in Chicago, she always goes, we're going to a Michelin star. Something about that she just wanted to see this art form take shape. And she did her externship when she was in culinary school in New York after graduating from the University of Arkansas, and then stayed at this place. And she's on a TV show called The Knife's Edge right now, where they're trying to keep their Michelin star on Apple. And they do keep their star, and a couple others are trying to get it, and it's pretty cool. But I love the fact that Michelin now has made its way into Mississippi. Tell me about how all that came about, how involved you were in Visit Mississippi, and then, of course, vestige in some of these great restaurants that we get to celebrate. It's just so cool.
So I love that show. I'm excited. I have to look for your daughter on there. Yeah. It's so, I have so much to say about this. So we have so much unbelievable food and incredible culinary chefs in Mississippi. And so, there are a lot of other states that are known for that. And, we that live in Mississippi know how great our food is, but, I feel like it's that everybody else doesn't realize that about Mississippi. Yeah. So, we are a part of an organization called Travel South USA, which is a, multi-state, 12 southern states that work together to market Mississippi and the South as, a destination to people outside of the U.S. So, Travel South, actually, had come up with this idea to talk to Michelin to see about, getting Michelin in some of our southern states. So I had the honor of going to meet with Michelin in Paris about a year and a half ago, I guess. Nice. And have a conversation about Michelin coming to the southern states. So Michelin currently, operates in several, U.S. states and cities, but they did not have any in the southern states.
So take a break real quick. How is that possible?
Right.
With the food that comes from the South, you and I have traveled all over the place, and there's no way you're telling me that it took that long to get to the South.
Right. So they were starting to move to wanting to do, basically, different areas of the country. And so, Michelin American South is the first region in the U.S. to be recognized.
Company, right?
Right. Yes. Right. Versus, specific, states and cities. So we are, in the first, group of the Michelin American South. Mississippi is one of 6 states. Tennessee, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, and South Carolina are the initial 6 states, along with Atlanta, Georgia. So we, it was a process that took a little over a year, working with Michelin. Michelin is obviously well known around the world. It is, a very, anonymous process. Like we did not know who the restaurants were until the day we stepped foot in, South Carolina for the event. So, which was in November, the first week of November. So, we really didn't know what to expect. I mean, we honestly are just thrilled with our 10 restaurants that were recognized. We had 2 Bib Gourmand and 8, Michelin recommended restaurants. Right. For those who don't know a lot about Michelin, the levels of recognition are Michelin recommended, Michelin Bib Gourmand, and then Michelin 1, 2, or 3 star. Right. So, this is just the beginning. We have, we know that we will have more restaurants that will be recognized, and we're just really excited to bring that recognition to Mississippi because, again, I think that it's just something that people don't realize about our state, and now it just puts us on the same stage with other states that people recognize for culinary talent. So we're just thrilled with it.
So for people out there, this is what I think I understand about Michelin. One person comes in anonymously during the year. And so you've got to be on your game every day of the year, every night of the year, or if you're screwing up that one night or something goes wrong, then you jeopardize that opportunity. So you have to be on your own game. You have to be perfect all the time. So
absolutely.
It's what happened. And then getting to 1 star versus 2 versus 3, keeping 2 stars is really difficult. I mean, then to get to 3, that 3 is like the grand poobah of all poobah. There's a movie out called 100-Foot Journey that's incredible about this Indian family and this Indian chef. This is a true story that across the street was this 2-star Michelin restaurant. It's just a phenomenal movie if people want to check it out. First of all, my daughter is the lead line cook there now, but she was just externing. But she's in like 7 shots. I don't want to oversell what the part she was in. She was working. Like everybody in that kitchen was working. But there's there's a lady that owns it that's just phenomenal, and she's just really good at that part of it. And it's been interesting to see how they run things there and how meticulous they are. From the second you walk in and step 1 foot in the door, it's game on, you can tell. And it's also warm and inviting. It's not like stiff and all that. They don't even have tablecloths. And that used to be the thing you talked about Michelin star. Right. So Sacred Ground and Pocahontas and Flowood. Pocahontas or Flowood?
Pocahontas.
Okay.
Flora, Pocahontas area. Yeah. So, that's really interesting because when we signed on with Michelin, we were invited to go to Texas had their first, Michelin announcement last year in 2024. And so, we got to go and just kind of check it out, see, how everything worked and what it was all about. And so in Texas, that was the first barbecue, restaurants that were ever recognized with Michelin. So, for that to be just 1 year ago, and now we have this incredible barbecue restaurant recognized in Mississippi, we're so excited about it. And I'll also say, so yes, Michelin, has been incredible, and we are just super proud to be a part of that. And then in addition to that, so last year, 2025, our theme for Visit Mississippi, so to speak, was Birthplace of America's Music. which will forever be our theme because we are the birthplace of America's music. But our campaign for this year, 2026, it rolled out, New Year's Day, is going to be our culinary campaign. So we have a brand new culinary commercial that we are super proud of. If people who are listening to this in Mississippi, you probably won't see it because another thing that we like to explain to people is that we market outside of the state because we're trying to bring people and their dollars from outside of the state to visit Mississippi. But you can go check out our culinary commercial on our website, visitmississippi.org. It's something to be proud of as well. And we'll have another culinary commercial coming out in a few months that is going to be focused on seafood and like farm to table and like, how, we have so much amazing seafood that, is caught in our Gulf and then, goes to the table.
I love it. Let's take a quick break. We're talking white pillows. We're talking, like you said, sacred ground. I mean,
sacred ground, vestige,
my buddy,
Polito.
Right. My buddy, Chef David Cruz said sacred ground. I said, how can a barbecue place? He goes, you don't understand. So anyway, I'm on a mission to go there. I hadn't even been there yet. I feel guilty. And it's all about
It's amazing.
food. Come on. Visit Mississippi.org. We're celebrating culinary today. We're celebrating everything that Rochelle Hicks and her team at Visit Mississippi is doing. Glad to have her on. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Sun came up in the middle of the night. Been doing it wrong for so long. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. You've been doing it. I'm doing it right. I'm still trying to find my way.
Up to $20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now. There's a ton of content from SuperTalk Mississippi on our new YouTube channel. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi on YouTube or go to supertalk.fm/YouTube. Be sure and subscribe for free to get the latest scoop on what's happening in Mississippi news, politics, sports, and the good things happening here in the...
From the Seabrook.com.
In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Here we go.
Visit Mississippi.org. Can I sing that to you? If I did, it would sound like, well, I'll get to that in a little bit. The bottom line is, it's like a song, the birthplace of America's music. We have been on full display for the world to come visit, and now we're stepping into the culinary scene, and we're celebrating that. That's been such a big part of our heritage. I grew up in the Mississippi Delta where there's Lebanese, Italian, Chinese, the list goes on, and the food that I grew up around with all of our friends they look one way and they talk very Southern, like their parents and grandparents. Pretty funny. But the food has been off the hook. And Mississippi's finally taken ownership of that like we did the music scene, which changed my life when able to move back here. I never anticipated everything that was going to be moving my career forward. When I came home, I was pretty content with the way it was, but now it's so much better. And the reason is because Visit Mississippi, our governors as of late, last 20 years, 26 years have taken it by storm. And trust me, all those times I've been in the writing room, Rochelle Hicks, with my Texas songwriters, and they got to brag about how they get to live within their state lines and make their living and da-da-da-da. Well, it used to aggravate me a little bit because I used to say, look, let me just break this down to you, that we are the birthplace. And finally, we took it back. I love it. Now, so you were talking culinary. So think about this. When folks are planning a road trip, do they not plan things around food and eating? I mean, like, that's like my thing.
Yes. Senator Lydia Chasnall, one of the things that she says that I just love is every visitor is going to eat. And it's so true. What is something that every single visitor is going to do? They're going to eat. And so, when I plan a trip, one of the first things I do is like, where are we going to eat? Let's make our reservations. Let's figure out, like most people are going to plan their road trip around the restaurants and the places they want to go and try.
Sure.
So, for us, this is just a natural fit. You come to Mississippi, you go eat amazing food, you go listen to just the best music in the world. You go see some incredible museums that we have that, are just, some of the best in the country. And, you have a great trip. Mississippi is a wonderful destination. And that's what we're trying to do is to tell people because, for years, we didn't really have the budget to be able to market Mississippi, like it needed to be. We were, way behind our sister states. And now that we have the dollars to be able to tell our story, we're telling it, and we're telling it in a way we've never told it before.
You're talking big numbers, all right? You're talking 44.1 billion. Is my numbers, are they correct? I looked them up.
We had 44.2 million visitors in 2024.
And then 18 billion?
18 billion. Mm-hmm.
18.1 billion. Let me get that right. Sorry.
18.1 billion, yes.
Okay, those numbers are insane. So where does that rank us as far as the economic impact in the state now?
We are still fourth largest industry in the state, but we're working to move up the chain.
Just talking billions of dollars now. It's like it used to be millions and now it's billions. I mean, are we going to get to the point where we're talking trillions within you in my lifetime?
I hope so. I hope so. I don't think that I'll still be the director, but I would love it. So, yeah. But, I do think, it's just important for, all of your viewers and for people to know that like just how important tourism is to our state. I am, just honored and so grateful to work for a governor, Governor Tate Reeves, who I feel like has really done more for tourism. The dedicated funding that we now have has just been an absolute game changer. So, when he was lieutenant governor is when that bill was passed. And I just think that we owe him such a gratitude for seeing that. He's a numbers guy. And it wouldn't have happened if he didn't think that tourism was important. And then now for us to, just tourism has just been able to grow as we should have been able to.
He's definitely a numbers guy, but also I've seen that warm heart. I've seen him look at children when we've been doing One Mississippi Out the thing. I've seen him melt. And also, He's also a great basketball player growing up, and I love that about him.
Yes.
He's a competitor. He was a point guard. But seriously, he gets it. And he's been very special for us. I can tell you, we're going to miss him. He's been really valuable. Yeah. And proof is in the numbers. I mean, when the bottom line is that's all we have now. When you look at all these numbers and stuff, when our shows are rated and all that stuff. And back in the day that when people would critique stuff, man, I would run and hide. And I go, just show me the ones I want to see. But the truth is now as I got into it, I realized I want to see it all because I want to know how I can improve. And I want to know, so how much statistics and where do you get these statistics? How much does that come into play, and how much does it advance the ball when the numbers are really good?
So we have lots of data partners that we work with. Our economic impact report that you were just, touting the numbers, we get that through Tourism Economics, which is a subsidiary of Oxford Economics. So, the best in the world. That's where we get our statistics from. We also work with different other partners. We're tracking credit card data. I mean, there's not a lot that we can't track right now. We did a campaign for the, Taylor Swift exhibit that was at the Grammy Museum back, it's been there for about the past year. And we can track from our ads that we did for that we know that we booked 44,000 room nights. Now we can't pinpoint that they were all booked in the Delta, but if they're seeing a Taylor Swift ad for an exhibit at the Grammy Museum, more than likely they're booking in the Delta somewhere. But regardless, 44,000 room nights were booked in Mississippi because of that ad with Taylor Swift. So that's the kind of things that we're doing, just to kind of put it in perspective that we're not just out there doing things and running ads back to the Rose Parade, like I don't have the stats in front of me, but last year we knew how many pieces of media, how much earned income and unearned income that we made from that. That's why we're doing that. We're doing that to put Mississippi on a national stage so that people think like, wow, I need to go check that out and I need to plan a trip to Mississippi.
I know that, and for folks that don't know, teachers out there, schools out there, you can plan these road trips and you can go visit, all the museums, the B.B. King Museum, the Grammy Museum, all these displays. There's so many of the one in Greenwood, the Mississippi Delta Museum, there.
Yes, the Kermit the Frog Museum, birthplace of Kermit the Frog Museum.
We got to get a little better there, but we're going to try to work on that.
Civil Rights Museum, like there's many. Yeah.
So schools book these road trips, right? And that's part of how many people come from our neighboring states and to check all that out. Are you thinking?
I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure. I don't have that stat in front of me, but that is one of the things that we, are working to improve. And, like you said, we've got great numbers, but we've got a lot of work still to do, right? We are hot and heavy going after some big sporting events, we don't have a Super Bowl, but we did just, work with Coastal Mississippi. We're bringing in a huge triathlon that will be held in the spring. That's a national triathlon. That's so there are lots of areas that we are really delving into to improve our numbers there, because we know we're a sporting state, right? We're sports, we're outdoors. We did just unveil the Mississippi Nature Trail, the Great Mississippi Nature Trail. We're super proud of that. We worked with a lot of our other state agencies on that project. We know there are so many there are so many ways that a visitor can come and experience our state, and we've always been really good about promoting music. We're obviously now getting a little bit better about the food. We're gonna go deep into all these other areas as well, so that we are out there.
The outdoors is huge. Wildlife is I got people coming from all over. If you want to go pheasant hunting, you go to South Dakota. But people come in and duck hunt, they deer hunt, they do. Hunting in Mississippi and fishing, especially, also, it's insane. Let's take a quick break. We're with Rochelle Hicks, Executive Director of Visit Mississippi. Visit Mississippi.org. Check it out. Take a ride on the Blues Trail Markers. And as I often say, you'll end up in Liverpool. The Beatles invasion, inspired hugely, just massively by the arts in Mississippi. Be proud of your Mississippi. It's hallowed ground. I'm Steve Azar. We'll be back.
Up to $20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
You know that nowadays most people go online to look at a business before they spend their money. What if the online information about your business is incorrect, or even worse, not very flattering? If your online presence isn't great, you may be losing customers. STMM Digital's trusted and highly trained team is the answer. We're ready to work with you to help your business capitalize on the power of digital marketing. Call 601-991-2305 or go to stmmdigital.com to get started today. Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi.
The one lady that's running the show absolutely flawlessly. Visit Mississippi.org. Rochelle Hicks is my guest today. I feel like I'm in a double whammy. It's like It's a double extra large on steroid show for Visit Mississippi. Go to visitmississippi.org. Plan a road trip. You've got the country trail markers, the freedom trail markers, the writers trail markers, the blues trail markers, and the world comes to visit. It all starts right here in our glorious Mississippi. Celebrate it. Be proud of it. Rochelle Hicks is my guest today, the boss, the leader of the band there. Hey, Rochelle, let's talk America 250. We don't have a ton of time. It only comes around, what, every 250 years? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't think we'll be around for the next one, Steve, but we want to leave a lasting legacy for this year. So, 2026 kicked off America 250, America's 250th birthday, semi-sesquicentennial, I think is the right word. So we're super excited. Visit Mississippi is working with the America 250 Mississippi Commission to, really promote America 250 Mississippi. So we have lots of programs. I encourage everybody to go check out our website, america250.ms. There's all the information I'm going to talk about is on that website. If you have events going on in your community, we have a grant program that closes out in a few months. So you still have time to get in and apply for some grants for your community event or your community exhibit. Lots of different ways you can apply for that grant. Definitely go check that out. We also have an America 250 Mississippi Foundation. If you are a company and you're wanting to donate to our efforts, we would appreciate that as well. We're just excited about all the great things that are going to be going on around the state. Our big event that we're going to have on June the 20th, 2026 is going to be at the Mississippi Coliseum. I believe one Steve Azar might be there to sing his amazing state song, One Mississippi. So we are super excited about that event. It's going to be a 1,000 person choir. Think Mormon Tabernacle Choir. The way that their event, if you've ever watched that on TV, it's always an incredible, moving experience.
Wow.
This will be something similar to that. A 1,000 person choir made up of all Mississippians, a 150 person orchestra. So if you go to our website and sign up for information, you will get some information. This month in January, we're going to be sending out a call for people who want to be in the choir. We want all churches, all choirs, all people from all over the state of all walks of life to be a part of this choir. It's going to be a very moving, beautiful experience. So if you're interested, please go and sign up and send your email to our website so that we can send out that information. It's going to be first come, first serve. So the first 1,000 people that sign up to be a part of this choir, once in a lifetime experience, it's like I said, first come, first serve. But we are super excited about it. It's called United in Song, America 250 Mississippi. So just go check out the website and join our socials channels. We have an Instagram page, a Facebook page, so that you're in the know of all the things going on around the state.
Any challenges that you sort of see that have been getting in the way? You are a momentum girl. You are an idea girl. Tell me, are there any challenges that you sort of face?
I mean, we're good. There's conversation around about Visit Mississippi becoming its own agency, and we would be excited for that to happen. And if it doesn't, we're going to keep on trucking and we're going to keep on promoting Mississippi no matter what happens. But I do think that tourism has shown that it is worthwhile of having its own agency. So we'll see what happens during the legislative session. But other than that, we appreciate and encourage everybody to support us. Join all of our socials, our Visit Mississippi socials, our America 250. We are just, everything we're doing is to promote our state that we're all so proud of. And we're also doing it because, we're setting the stage for the future, right? For our kids, who live here. And, because tourism does bring in money, and money makes, it creates the dollars in the general fund for, the legislature to be able and the governor to be able to increase things for education, for healthcare. So, yes, a lot of times people think tourism is fun and fluffy, and it is. It's great. I mean, I'm so honored and excited to be able to do the work that we do. But we're doing it so that we're making a difference for the dollars that come into the state that then help change lives, right? So, we're not working in healthcare. Yeah, I mean, but we are.
Brought the word fun up. I mean, do we not want to have fun? We won't work all the time. I mean, this is the beauty of it. And at the same time, you get to be cultured. Like, there's probably most of the time you go into a place or a town you haven't visited within your own state, folks. You check out, I always say that. I say, you don't have to come from out of state. You can celebrate it within, and you'll be blown away by not only
Right.
the hospitality that rings true
Right.
all throughout Mississippi, but the good times you're going to have. You're going to have
See
great
what's
time.
in your own backyard, right? If you haven't been to the Max in Meridian, if you haven't been to the Grammy Museum, if you haven't been to the U.S. Civil Rights Museum, if you haven't been, I could go on and on and on. You know, like if you have kids and you've not been to the Mississippi Children's Museum in Meridian or Jackson, the worst thing anybody could say is there's nothing to do here, because that's just not true.
Right.
There are so many things to do here. So many places to see. I know somebody that a few summers ago, like they planned a weekend during the entire summer, and she took her kids around to a new place in Mississippi and a new museum, something they'd never experienced. You know, like we are our best ambassadors, and you've always been just one of the best ambassadors we could have ever asked for in our state. We should all be ambassadors of our state, right?
Sure,
like we should all be, you know, if somebody comes from my state and they get in an Uber, they should be telling them what there is to see and do.
I love it. I love you. I can't thank you enough for everything. Thank you for the energy, but thank you for doing something with your energy and making it make a huge difference. 44.1 million visitors, $18.1 billion, and that's just 2024. It's only getting better. The job you're doing, Rochelle, is off the charts. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you. We have a great team, and thank you, Steve, for always being just such a huge advocate for us.
Well, I'm grateful for being part of the team. Visit Mississippi.org. Check it out. Blessings. Have a wonderful weekend. We're running this show back to back later on.
I'm Steve Azar. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them, where you can take your sweet time.
A SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.